Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare.
Good morning, everyone. Hopefully you guys had a great Wednesday or a Thursday, and now hopefully you will have a great Friday and a great weekend. Hope to hear from you all today. Unfortunately, I got a little caught up in a couple of things that were going on, and I lost track of time, and it's my fault that we're not actually on time. So let's see, a couple of admin notes. I've got a couple of suggestions for the next watch party. I see there's some talk about it. Deborah says last night's watch party was great. We've got other ideas for the next watch party that we're going to do next Thursday. That's free to everybody. For my Patreons, we're going to try and figure out something to do on Monday. I'll ping you guys in the chat. And if you've got ideas, post them there. If not, you can post them here as well as the Discord. Looking at it, it's looking a little slow this morning. I don't know what's going on. I think because my timing was off, that we don't have as many people in here. And that's okay. That's okay, because today is a open forum Friday. And so now's the time for you to start getting carpal tunnel in your thumbs, putting in questions or ideas or thoughts in the chat right now, so that we can get this party started. One of the things that while we're waiting for that to happen, one of the things that we're thinking about is, oh, you know what? Hold on. I didn't do my normal. What do we got here? West Virginia Pappy. First and only guy to check in. There's 8 people watching. There's normally about 30 or 40, but there's only 8 people watching on Rumble. And so Rumble people, quit slacking. Check in. Say hi. That's how human beings work these days. Let's see here. And then on YouTube, who we got? What do we got on YouTube? YouTube's a little bit more active. We've got got 14 on YouTube. 1 person on Twitch. Twitch guy, check in for me. I'm curious to see who you are. I'm pretty sure I know who you are, but it's okay. Let's see here. Let's see. I will give you a fair chance to explain what's happening in the world war. Well, we're at war, Bob. We're at war. We've been at war for over a year. You didn't know that? Come on, man. They're explained. All right, let's see here. Where we got here? Jordan, first to Phil. Number 2, Deanna, the third. What do we got? Gibbsby, Spags, what's up? What's up? Everybody out here. Bob, PETA, West Virginia Pappy is omnipresent. Catitude, Bradley, Deborah, Chris Leroy, Jules, good to see you, girl. Tina, where are we at here? Major, last. No, I'm sure. Nope, Justin came in behind you, so you're not last today, bro. Let's see here. We've already got a few questions on the YouTube side, which is great. If we could get some questions on the Rumble side, I think it would be more fair to the Rumble guys. I lean towards Rumble. I'd love to build a community on both sides, But in the end, I've got 19 over here and I got 7 there. So we're doing just fine, you know. You are a sit rep. Give a situation report. Bob. Here's the thing, Bob. Let me look you in the eye when I tell you this. You don't get to tell me how to do my own live stream. We good? Nice. All right, let's see here. We got lots of stuff going on inside the chat. Super duper. Korea always has issues, like, in my opinion, nothing burger. Yeah, unfortunately, it is a nothing burger, but we're gonna get to that. So let's see here. What was the very first thing? Let's see. Where are we at here? I'm scrolling through it so fast. I thought there were more questions on the YouTube side. Where did they all go? There we go. And YouTube was not updating again for some reason. Let's see here. Gibbsy says, a couple in the gas masks always cracks me up. It reminds me of American Gothic. You're talking about on the original thumbnail. Yeah, that's part of the logo, or should I say, it's part of the media package that was designed originally for the channels 2 years ago. But yeah, it is kind of the iconic prepper thing. Let's see, but it is what it is. And I'm doing some research now, because if you're interested in I've got other ideas, but I'm throwing this one out. It's always intrigued me. So simple question. Yes or no? A 1 if your answer is yes. A 2 if your answer is no. Have you ever heard of Doomsday Preppers UK? Because they actually made a show in the United Kingdom about Doomsday Preppers that was actually the same as we did here in the United States, but it was for guys that are in the UK, and it was always interesting because they lean in a very, very more specific way of survival. That's more of like a traditional, like if you imagined living in the woods of Europe, that kind of thing. But it's still very much the same. We're separated by a common language, but it does come down to some slightly different ideals, and they are also super hyper focused on economy and power. So it's interesting to see. It looks like the chat filled up. Most people didn't even know the show exists. They also have another one too. I've got one. Oh my God. There's a show, and I don't remember how long it is, but it was an experiment, and I don't want to give it away. If you're interested, I can't give you this. I don't want to give it away. Because it's a really, really great topic. What if you were duped into believing that the world had like gone into like zombie land, and that was all a giant experiment to see how you would react, and it was all filmed for the world to see? Would you be interested in watching something like that? If the answer is yes, do me a favor, type the number 3 in the chat. If the answer is no, type the number 4 in the chat. And that's right. I'm interactively getting you to wake up the chat rating, because now we have 20 people watching on Rumble and we got 19 on YouTube. It's a battle. But yeah, that type of media actually does exist. I've watched it before, but I can't remember if it was a series or if it was a single movie and how long it was. And I try to stick to the watch parties being like no more than an hour. That way we can talk a little bit in the beginning. We can watch it for an hour. We can talk a little bit a little bit after that. But you have to remember too that, hey, a watch party for me is work. And for you, it's your home, and you've already been through your whole day of work, just like I have. And now it's like, oh. So it has to be something that we actually enjoy watching. So, Eagle Lover, good to see you, go. Let's see, Jules, why would I want to watch it when I've been living it daily for several years. There's no zombies in your life, Jules. Let's see here. 45 to 70 lever for zombies. Oh, 45, 70 lever action for, I got you. All right. I'm going to go ahead and check the chat real quick because we do, like I said, I did want to do this as an open forum. Questions, once again, if you have not posted your question in the chat, please do so, and I will do my best to answer it. Also, if you have not hit that like button, do me a favor, hit that. That will drive more people to the channel. It helps me out. And then also, if you are new to the channel and you're just lurking, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. You'll get notified when I go live and when I drop other videos. I've still got to make the new UV5B video. Also had a request for the basics of programming the UV class radios. They all pretty much have the same menu system. It's not difficult, but it's just... LP, have you met the people around here? No. We're talking about like real zombies. Anyway, like real fake zombies. Anyway, but yeah, there's a lot of zombies out there. I don't like to use that term because there's another YouTuber out there who uses that term. Specifically, he was like the first one to do it. And so we try to stay original here. Let's see here. All right, so like I said, I'm going to roll over to the chat, and we're going to start with the Rumble. Let's see here. What do you think of the bombshell that was reported in yesterday's White House briefing about the risk of UN country intending to source missiles from Iran? Risk of UN countries, I guess UN countries intending to source missiles from Iran. Okay, Bob. So if I get you correctly, you're saying that United Nation countries were intending to source missiles from Iran. Let's go ahead and clarify that real quick, and then I'll answer your question. I'm actually not keen on that, but I do have an opinion on your statement. Let's see. While you're typing that, Bob, I'm going to go ahead and go to another thing right now. Let's see here. Ooh, there. The chat just went wacko. All right, there we go. All right, let's see here. Latest intel on North versus South Korea. Do you think it's about to pop off there first or somewhere else? No, Bradley. I don't think it's going to pop off. Listen, I can't. So I could tell you stuff that's not secret, but it would still be considered to be sensitive and classified, so I won't. What I would tell you is that Marines have been operating in that theater for years, that they're actually the first line of defense for North Korea. A lot of people don't know that, but that's because it is because that they are strategically placed in well, I won't even say that because it's common knowledge where they are. If you go digging, it's not hidden, it's not secret, it's not classified, but they're the closest divisional size force that could be mustered and do have plans to react. You know, they literally do, at the time, they literally did have drawers full of plans. If they do this, we do this. If they do this, we do this. But those are all digitized now. So let's see. So I don't think it's going to pop off. There's always been there's a series of islands that are out in that region that the North Koreans like to shell that are supposedly South Korean, and you know they did it just to try and push them off the island so that they could claim it for North Korea. They say it's theirs, but there's actually South Koreans that live there. You know, so they are doing that all the time. You hear about, like, I think you're making reference to the shelling that happened near the DMZ. The South Koreans do it all the time too. They have little bases, little they have little target fake bases that are near the DMZ that that U.S. planes practice targeting on all the time. They practice shelling on all the time. Early on in my Marine career, as I started as a mortarman, We actually went to several of these places where we would actually fire our mortars into these target areas that are very close to the DMZ. But most of the time, they're up in the mountainous regions. So, attack through that area would be just basically stupid. So hopefully that answers your question. Now, going back to Bob, looks like he's got it. So Russia sourcing missiles from IM, that was actually confirmed. It did actually happen. What do I think of it? I think that the Russians are in trouble. I think that if they're buying, that may not be true. That may not be true because there's two sides of that coin. One could be that they're buying them because they're starting to run out of their more technical or weaponry. The other side of that coin could be that they're keeping their own good stuff in reserve because they've done that the whole time, guys. If you guys didn't know this, Russia never committed their formal large scale army people to the war in the Crane place. Those guys have always been kept in reserve, which is always hilarious. It literally is like World War I borders that are set up along the areas that they have, the contested areas, we'll call that. So like I said, the other side of that coin is that they're just reserving all their good stuff and buying the crap stuff. The one from that they found that didn't go off, that just kind of crashed. They're like, that could be poor quality, but it could also be that the Russians didn't actually know how to use the munition. There's a huge difference between knowing how to use a technically advanced weapon versus watching how to do it on YouTube. So that's what I think about that, Bob. That was a great question. Let's see here. We're going to go and check out the chat here. What's your feeling? Bob Peter says, what's your feeling on propane heater? I bought a little buddy heater. Let's see. I like propane heaters. You just have to be careful with them. A lot of people don't know, especially the little buddies. So, and the little buddies have lots of safety devices on them. I would say get a propane heater that is capable of heating the area or space that you are trying to use, but also remember that space needs to be reasonably ventilated as well. And the reason is not because of fumes or toxins or things that are going to kill you. It's because propane heaters eat oxygen, and you could use a propane heater in a very small space, and it sucks the oxygen out of the air, and then you die. So there's that. But I love propane heaters. Now, I'm actually, for home heating, I'm more of a proponent of kerosene heaters. That's kind of gone, the way of the white buffalo. If you don't know what that means, they don't exist anymore. With that said, kerosene heaters can still be purchased in lots and lots of places. They still make kerosene. It's still one of the cleanest burning fuels there is. And they designed it to burn clean for indoor use. Now, I have also seen where people have used older kerosene heaters. Back in the day, you could buy kerosene heaters that look very similar to the ones that we have now. You had to put them inside of because of the way they were poorly designed, you had to put them inside of a metal tray. A lot of people used the low-level feeding trays for like birds. They're large, they're round, they're about this big. I would say at least 3 feet. And they would put them on there, and you could tell when one of the older homes, especially the ones that basically had lead paint, like bad paint, or they didn't paint their ceiling with a good paint, because there would be a ring or a circle in their ceiling from where the heater had been on too hot in an attempt to heat the entire home. But yeah, I love kerosene heaters. I think that they're actually better. So let's see. But I don't have a problem with buddy heaters. I think they work. The buddy heaters are great because bang, they're on just like that. And as long as you got the propane, you're good. You do have to watch out a little bit if you're in a super cold environment. Those propane tanks don't operate very well in super cold environments. Let's see here. Hopefully that answers your question. Justin says, yo, yes, we are at war. Yeah, we've been at war for a while. Let's see. Major Ken says Korea always has issues like this. In my opinion, nothing burger. Gotcha. We talked about that. Triple tank right now. People are chatting. Hey, chat. We have a few likes short. Okay, yeah, good. And then we got to the numbers. Let's see here. One family lived in the castle. I don't. Are you talking, Justin? Are you talking about the UK Doomsday Preppers UK? They had one family that lived in a castle. Please answer in the chat. I'll look for your answer. The only one that I know of on the American side is that family that built that castle on top of a mountain that kind of like the whole idea just fell apart because I honestly think it fell apart because they should have finished completion of the castle before they started buying all the stupid stuff. And, they had like water leaking issues. They had very basic home construction issues that any contractor could have fixed. But when you put it on the hill, people are going to see it. So let's see here. Some are state and government sponsored. I don't know what you're talking about, Cole. Good morning. I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see here. We got lots of numbers. What Jules says, okay, we talked about the zombies, like Truman's World Zombie Edition. Let's see. Jules says, no problem with ventilation here. Every crevice has some kind of airflow. Gotcha. Let's see here. Is there any good ideas for off-grid power aside from solar? Well, one of the things that one of the things that I'd always wanted to do was get one of those hydro, build basically a hydro pump and just drop it in a stream and make that work for me. I know of people that do use them and they work just fine, but like anything else, they require constant maintenance. So that was always like the dream for me, because if you can get like fresh water right out of a stream, and it's being powered by the stream, I don't think it gets any better than that. But I also think what I would do is, if I could make that work, then I would buy a second one and have that one in reserve, because it's going to break. So you're talking about something that's constantly moving 24/7, so that would be different. And then if not, then to build a hydro dam on a stream. If I own the property, you probably have to look into the laws that pertain to it, but to build some form of hydro dam that diverted the water for power only, just enough to make the power. That way it didn't affect people downstream. Let's see here. What castle? Miss Yorkshire Prepper. What castle? Oh, we got a UK girl in here. Nice. Good to see you. Good to see you. Great Britain. That's originally where my roots are from, down south. Let's see here. All American Prepper. Someone stole all their stuff from that Doomsday. Yeah, they got in there a couple of times. All American Prepper. They got in there a couple of times. I like to read up every so often. Every so often, I'll like watch an episode of Doomsday Preppers. I'm pretty sure I've seen them all. I honestly don't know. But then I'm like, then you just have to go onto the Google machine and like, where did Steve so-and-so from Doomsday Preppers go? What happened to him? And then somebody wrote a thing on him. Let's see here. Yes, UK. Yes, the UK Prepper Show. Gotcha. Prepping shows overseas. Some are state or government sponsored. Oh, I see. I got you, Coco. What about wind? I like the idea of wind, but wind is, unless you live in a place that is constantly windy, it's hit or miss. And you've got to be able to you're going to have to invest some money in getting a mast, because people don't really think about the wind. You've got to get that turbine up probably at least 50 feet in the air to be effective. And if you live in a place or in some little, cul-de-sac that's surrounded by pines, the average height of a North Carolina pine is a mature North Carolina pine is almost 100 feet. So you've got to get up above all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And if you put it out in the middle of a pasture where there's no wind coming through there because it's surrounded by trees, then you've got to get it up even higher. You know what I'm saying? So, but I do like the idea of it. I think one of the drawbacks of wind power or wind turbine power is that the machines, the turbines themselves eventually break down. I see a lot of that. There are some people that are up and down the road here on the Eastern Shore that you can look at their house, and it's a fenced-in area. It's the entrance is gated. It's a house. It's on high ground. It's got a windmill popping out the top of it, and it's got sheep in the front and solar panels on the south side. So this dude is like trying to live off grid. It's clear as day when you drive past it. But his turbine is never turning because it broke. So love listening to your podcast. Learn some. Thank you, Miss Yorkshire. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Tell your friends. Let's see if we can get the chat rolling here. Let's see here. American Prepper, everyone is obsessed with electricity. I grew up without electricity, so why can live without electricity? Yeah, well, you're in a unique situation too, because you're back in the country. I mean, like you're deep in the woods, man. And your source is obviously going to be wood. You know what I'm saying? And when you talk about living without power, it's more about survival from the cold than anything else. And if you're living in the middle of nowhere and you're surrounded by woods and you got a stove, you know what I'm saying? So it's completely easy for you. Now here in the town that I live in, if the electricity went out, then I'd have a problem with heat. I'd have to go dig out the kerosene heater. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm tracking with you, man. I'm tracking with you. Let's see here. What about some type of solar heating or sand battery heating? Yeah, those things are all very, very, they're very useful, Deborah. But what we have to realize is that we live, you're going to put one in every single room. You're going to heat up that sand battery. First of all, how are you going to get the heat into the sand battery? That's the first thing, because that's going to require energy. Some form of energy is going to be required. Not electricity. I said energy is going to be required to heat up that sand battery. Okay. Because it ain't going to stay hot forever. All right. That's the first thing. The second thing is, as far as solar heating, now you're talking about modifying your entire home, because you would have to basically do the black pipe thing up on top of your roof. You'd have to create or purchase a solar array designed to heat water, and then pump that hot water through your house. So now you're talking about going through your floorboards to create a heated flooring system. You can purchase heated flooring panels to put down. They look like tiles. They look like regular tiles. But the whole thing is heated with water. But they're great ideas if you got the money, you know. Let's see here. Remember one guy shot his where's that? I remember one guy shot his thumb off teaching his son to shoot on that show. That's hilarious. Scotland's has loads of wind farms. Half the time they don't work, and the wind is strong. Yeah, I mean, it's a machine. Okay, it's a machine. It has gears. You're turning mechanical energy into electrical energy, and that machine will eventually break. Let's see here. They have to turn them off. My local Walmart had oil lamps on clearance. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if you can get a good oil lamp and then get the clear oil, you can normally find those things during different times of the years. If they're on sale, get those sons, because you know you can put that on you could actually use that to heat a small room, you know. And I'm not talking about being comfortable. I'm talking about being under lots of blankets, but you would still be able to create, like, you could change the ambient temperature inside of a small room for survival purposes. When I first learned about that, the thermodynamics of heat and how to use it for survival, it was actually the very first time I did cold weather training. The Marine Corps used to use Norwegian survival shelters. And what it basically is that shelter is just a series of pieces of oiled not cloth, canvas, that have metal, giant metal buttons all around it. And then you would put them all together. And now the magic of it was that it wasn't this shape, it was flat on the top and it was really low to the ground. So you literally crawled into it. But once you laid down, you could literally like put all your gear in the center, and then you could lay in a circle around it, all your dudes, your fire team. And then frickin' in the middle, you could light 2 or 3 candles, and that was enough to change the ambient temperature inside that smaller, that smaller, I wouldn't say structure, but smaller area inside that Norwegian survival tent or Arctic tent. So you'd be surprised what you can do with a candle if you can shrink the area that you need to heat. Let's see here. Wind power didn't work in Texageddon 2021. The wind was kicking, but the blades froze up. Yeah, it got so cold that the all of the lubricants froze. Let's see here. Jordan says, I love oil lamps, but at grandma's house, they leave so much residue that I'm not sold on them. Yeah, you have to buy. Okay, well, first things first, you have to keep them away from people. Have a tendency to take those lamps and put them up high. All right, because they want that light to come down. That's actually a mistake. You should put it like on a table in a corner or in the center of a kitchen table or something like that. And that way the heat and light go out. We're used to having lights above us all the time, and then we don't have problems looking at things with shadows. That's why they're up there instead of down low. But the second thing is the soot that comes off of them is not as bad. I'm not going to say there's no soot, but if you get the clear burning fuel, then it will, it's actually clear in the jar or in the container. Matter of fact, I thought I had some up here. If you get the clear stuff, you don't have that problem, that you don't have that soot burn off. You'll get some initial soot burn off from the burning of a brand new wick, but that's really about it. Let's see here. I think it was 16 knots in the average wind speed you have to get to viable power. I've actually looked into I would love to have, I don't know that I'd want to build one because I'm kind of moved past the arts and crafts part of my preparedness. But I think that I would like to have one that is the ones that stand straight up. It's not up here like this. It stands straight up. It's almost like a turbine that's not inside of its casing, and the wind can catch it from any direction. That way it never has to spin. So now you've solved that problem as far as it needing to rotate with the cable or connections inside of it. And then boom, you've got power, man. And that, and the thing is it's not about generating power or generating electricity, because you're going to generate electricity as long as the turbine is spinning. When you make reference to the 16 knots, that is to be self-supporting, okay, to what they call pass-through. And so most wind turbines are designed to go to battery packs or go to your batteries, okay? And so the idea is not that the wind is powering your house. The wind is charging your batteries, and the batteries power your house. That's how it actually works. Let's see here. Where are we at here? When we build our house, we'll have a wooden stove. Most definitely. Setting a mirror behind the lamp will broadcast the light produced by oil lamps, candles, etc. Absolutely. And some of them actually have reflectors. You can clamp on the reflectors and spin them around the glass if you want to point it in. So you might want to look at that too. Let's see here. I'm going to working back on my channel. Would love to do a podcast with you. Then you can give tips for us. Miss Yorkshire, anytime you want to. It's only 5-hour difference between you and I, time difference. And I'll be happy to work with you. You can find me at LocalPrepper. Or hold on a second. Contact LocalPrepper at gmail.com. I think I did that right. And you can find me there. You send me a message. I'll be more than happy to come on your show. All right, so I've been kind of ignoring the YouTube, or I've got 28 on the YouTube, 27 on YouTube, 1 on the Twitch, and we've got some questions in the Rumble that I've been kind of ignoring here. Well, I wouldn't say ignoring. I've just been totally focused on the YouTube side. Let's see here. By Bob saying South Korea was my other question yesterday. South Korea evacuated 3 of the 4 islands. Is this more of an escalation since the missiles were dropped just offshore? I'm going to say yes. I would say yes, and the reason is because, like I said, they do this all the time. Whenever North Korea, China has the same situation. Believe it or not, they have a series of islands that are in contention. But with the North Koreans and South Koreans, whenever they start to throw stuff towards that island, people leave. And the only reason they stay there, it's like, this is our ancestral birth land. This my whole 2,000-3,000 years of family have lived on this little island. I'm not leaving. That's the whole reason. Otherwise, it would just be this giant artillery island that they would shoot stuff at. Honestly, I would say that that it's likely that they purposely did this just to scare them off the island. From the tactical mindset, they could evacuate the island and then take it over, if they really wanted to. But more than likely, they just use it as a pawn for negotiations. Let's see here. Let's see. Buddy heaters have O2 sensors designed to shut off. Safer, but would you distrust this? No, they're actually pretty good. There have been multiple tests that show when the O2 sensors sense that there's not enough oxygen in the air, that the buddy heater will shut off. This is, I would actually trust it. But the thing is you wouldn't want to put yourself in a situation, I'm a fan of the kind of like the van life videos. I like watching those. I would love to have like a van and take a trip. I would love to like drive to different states where like preppers are, or meet fans, or go and say like, hey, I found this great place. It's in such and such, and then like talk, like interview them, you know what I'm saying? And then drive to another place in another state. It'd be like a little road trip, like kind of like van life / prepper finding stuff, prepper discovery or something like that, but the reason I'm telling you that is because several of them will tell you right up front that they start off with the buddy heaters, and then they do that for about a year, and then they realize that there's still lots of condensation inside their vans, and there's also but they worry about the lack of oxygen. They worry about dying in their vans. So a lot of them will transition to diesel heaters, and you can buy those on Amazon. And they're originally designed as shop heaters, and they're just these little boxes, but they run off diesel, and they sip it. They absolutely sip it, but kick out lots of heat. So you might want to look into those. The name brand ones are in the thousands of dollars. But you can pick up a Chinese version of one, a reputable Chinese version of one, basically a knockoff for money in the hundreds of dollars. So there's a significant difference. The key is that, but the diesel heaters have an exhaust, so you actually have to like port that exhaust out of your house if you're going to try and do that. They sip diesel. They absolutely sip the diesel. So Hicktown Honey finally made it. Let's see here. Thanks and yes on the condensation. Absolutely. No problem, Bob. Let's see here. We're going to roll back to the Rumble side here. I love my dual fuel Coleman lantern. Yeah, it's a good piece of gear, West Virginia Pappy. Let's see. We'll sort something out. Nice. Gibbsby, Dog and Ball, look into wood stoves that have reburn technology for the smoke. Ours is great, and it doesn't show much smoke outside. Gotcha. Plan B Prepper. I don't think I've ever met you before. Welcome to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm here every day of the week except for Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, so LP, found you on Survivalist Prepper. Okay, yeah, me and Dan talk from time to time. What are the schedules for your live shows, please? I think I just said that. Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. I do it for at least 1 hour. Unless I have to be on the road that day, and you'll get about a half an hour out of me. But that's when I do it. Let's see. And hopefully that answered your question. If you got more, contact LocalPrepper, gmail.com. Let's see. And if you have not hit that, let me check the Rumble side. Rumble's always slacking. All right, yeah, that's what I thought. Rumble, you're slacking. If you guys haven't hit that like button, do me a favor, smash that sucker right now. It does help. It does help. I haven't even checked the YouTube side, but go do it. Go do it. Don't be a slacker. Effort. You know, if you guys didn't know this, that's a huge thing. That's a huge part of my life. It's people sometimes don't like the way I am. I'm a firm believer. I've been in enough bad places doing bad things to remember that effort and enthusiasm will get you through most everything in life. Not a joke. If you put forth the effort and you're enthusiastic about it, even if you're just trying to fake it till you make it, if you're enthusiastic about it, you are going to succeed or you're going to survive. That's guaranteed. All right, let's see here. Let's see. I like that Gisby didn't know he had one. Take a show on the road. Yeah, I'd love to do that. I would love to do that. I feel as if it would kind of pull me away from the preparedness space, kind of. But you know, I mean, there's a part of me that if I could, I would load everything that I needed up in a van and I would just go. You know what I'm saying? And be gone for like a month. And I may do it this summer, guys. I'm not saying there's plans. I'm saying there's a lot of thoughts about it. Let's see here. Let's see, like homestead rescue, but prepper rescue. No, no, because I don't want to be, oh man, see, I don't want to be that. There have been people that have asked me to help them, and they've been willing to pay money. And I have a problem with that. I mean, part of me has one part of me is like, yeah, sure, I'll talk to you all day long. Give me money. You know, who wouldn't do that? But there's another part of me that says, you know, you can do all of this stuff. It's how I got into this, because people were getting scammed. They're getting scammed by these people that actually had reputable businesses, that people believed what they were saying. You know what I'm saying? This all started over a trauma kit. That's how I got into this on YouTube. This all started over a trauma kit where I was in special forces. Yeah, don't let me show you all my tabs, okay? And people believed him because of that. And they were charging way too much. So I made a video and showed you how to make this thing you could make 10 of these, okay? And then once you price them out individually, you were saving like $30, $40. You know, the markup was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous, you know? It's like, well, I'm not even going to say that because that's a reputable business. But anyway, that's how I got into this, because I just have this thing about taking people's money for no reason. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons I'm an Amazon affiliate, because if I have the product and I know that it works, and then it's like, okay, well, I just found this and there's a 50% savings on it. And if you want it, you can go buy it. And ask me about it or whatever it is, you know, and then I'm only going to make like 32 cents on like your $10, $20 purchase or something like that. So I think that's better. So, all right, let's see here. Let's see, like homestead rescue, local prepare, come to Florida. I'll take you for a tank ride. Yeah, I know. I've seen your videos, bro. I've seen your video. I've actually driven an M60 before. I got to do that one time, like years ago. It is lots of fun. It is lots of fun. Let's see here. Also, dark sense of humor helps me get through life. Yeah, well, most of the people, yeah, there is some truth to that. There's some truth to that. Bama Kristen, welcome to the channel. I don't recognize you either. Welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Recommendation. She's asking recommendation for an affordable conceal carry or open carry holster for women. That is serendipitous. I actually have, okay, crap. I don't have it on this. I only use, for tax purposes, I only use this particular setup for streaming so I could write it all off. But let me find here. LocalPrepper, Amazon. Let's do that. And we're going to find Amazon official. LocalPrepper's Amazon page. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna throw this in the I'm gonna do a little shameless promotion here. We're gonna pop that in there, and then I'm gonna pop that in there, and then I'm gonna go down to my section for women. Women were clothing, tools, footwear, games, lady prepper stuff. Okay, I'm going to send you to lady prepper stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and make that link for you, that direct link for you. And then I'm going to show it to you here on the screen so you can get an idea and then you can decide what you want to do. All right. So I always, let me, I got to push a couple buttons here. Add a scene. It's like where I become the frickin', the director and stuff. Okay. Boom. Share. Okay. So I recommend either this one, or let's see here, this one. Let's see, we're going to share that one as well. And these, I actually use these right here, or ones that are similar. These are really good. These are made by Sportneer. And Microsoft closed that. There we go. And I recommend these for concealed carry because you can put them anywhere you want. You can use them for appendix. You can use them for side carry. And I believe this one's actually reversible. These, I don't care about the cell phone stuff, but what I do like about it is I can wear these. I used to work, I wear shorts all the damn time. But during the summertime, it's very difficult to do concealed carry, with wearing a pair of frickin', basketball shorts, so I actually use these, and I would carry either a full size Glock or the Glock. Oh, what? Which one of the Glock is the short one, guys? It's not the freaking. I just call them Glocks. I don't even care about the numbers. That's not the 9mm version of it, and not single stack, double stack. But I carry that as concealed carry. You can carry another magazine in there. I have one that's slightly different from this, but I always recommend that people actually use this. They're super, super comfortable. And if you've got a little bit of a belly on you, you're not going to be worried about that whole tilt and biting. And they're super comfortable, especially when you get inside of your car and have to put your seatbelt on. Super comfortable. So those are the kind that I recommend for concealed carry. As far as open carry, hey, whatever holster you like, it doesn't matter to me. I'm actually an affiliate. Well, I don't have it on here. I'm actually an affiliate. This one's currently unavailable. Lovely. But I actually have I'm an affiliate for a company that makes concealed carry holsters that you wear appendix carry. They're made of leather, and you basically wear it under the belt. And so you literally, everything is tucked under the belt and what I can do is I can drop that in the, I'll drop that in the chat when I'm done with the live stream. Then you guys can find it there, or if you're watching later, that's where it will be. But I am an affiliate for them. I don't sell them very often because honestly, it's that kind of gear. It's great, but it's like fire and forget. I forget I'm even an affiliate for it until you guys actually brought this up. So hopefully that answers your question. Let's see here. I guess I got you guys' attentions because you stopped asking questions. All right, let me go ahead and change screens back over here. There we go. Back here to the real world. Okay. That doesn't rotate. That's kind of funny. All right. So let's see here. We've actually we're getting close to that. We're getting close to that end of the hour type thing. And I wanted to talk to you guys about if you have heard of prep stock, don't type anything. If you have not heard of prep stock, type the number 7 in the chat. Let's see here. Chateau de Bailey. The only thing I'd conceal carry is a K-bar. Well, I don't know where you are, Chateau, and welcome to the channel. I don't recognize you. Thanks for showing up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. But don't get me wrong. Firearms are great and all. I got you. Well, K-bars are actually concealing a K-bar is actually illegal in most states. If you open carry a K-bar in some states, it is legal, but I would definitely check out the laws of your state. And the reason is because that is, if a cop is searching you, okay, and you have legally concealed carried a firearm, he's going to be like, what is that? And why didn't you tell me about it? And you're going to give him a card. And he's going to like, next time, tell me. All right. But if you were concealed carrying a K-bar and a cop or somebody sees it, this is considered like, what is it called? Menacing to the public. Okay. So I would be very cautious about concealing your K-bar. It's not a bad knife. I've broken 100 of them over 33 years of service, but they're not bad knives. They're good knives for beating on things until you turn them sideways. Their tip retention is crap. They don't bend, they break. But overall, they're not a bad knife for field knife stuff. All right, let's see here, Bob. Let's see here. Can you share how much better your Airbnb antenna works over others? And is it clumsy to use the radio with this antenna? Well, Airbnb is a brand name. So hold on a second. Here's my other one. Bob, are you talking about this one? Are you talking about this one right here? If you are, I don't have a problem with this. I grab this. It's like I don't carry it into a store with me. I just leave it in the car. It's actually a pretty nifty handle to have. Get you back on the Velcro. Come here, you. Come here. There we go. I like it because it does, as far as range goes, it really does. Transmission range, probably not any better than the standard whip antenna. Or actually tape antenna. Well, it's funny in the military, you have 3 foot, you have a 3 foot tape and a 10-foot whip. But in the civilian community, you have a shorter whip antenna. It's kind of weird. But I do enjoy it. It's yes, okay. I'm good to go. I do enjoy this antenna. As far as reception, it does change the game. If I'm inside the vehicle, I don't normally have to extend it or release the Kraken. I don't normally have to do that, but I will from time to time if something's going on and I want to maintain reception. But overall, awesome antenna. I will upgrade all of my radios with these, excuse me, with any extra funds that I have. And the reason is because they are just that good. They are durable. They are, it's like nothing's happening. Nothing's loosening. It is there. I'm not worried about cracking the pin or the base or anything like that. So I always recommend that you get an antenna like this and get the larger battery. Get the larger battery, and it's a game changer. 3,800 milliamps. It's a game changer. They're okay, but it's like, hey, what are you doing over there? Oh, you went that way, and then you can't really shrink it to make it smaller. So I do always recommend that you get this one. So I hope that answered your question. All right, let's see here. I'm going to go back to the Rumble or the YouTube chat. That Comfort track belt is the one I have, and it's still in stock. There you go, Jules. Good to go. Let's see here. Just make sure you guys check those to make sure that they're compatible with your firearm. That's a key thing. Most of them are universally compatible, but let's face it, some people have some weird guns, and while we're talking about it, I don't believe in those. I don't believe in those pocket. I've got a pocket 380 that I used to carry every so often, and it's not one of the cheap ones. But it's like, okay, that's dynamite. And that is like the easiest on the concealment side of things. That's the easiest thing. But you know what, guys? When the barrel is this long, you really got to focus on being accurate, because you're more than likely not going to be very accurate at all. So let's see. I have several new Bowfangs. That model I need to set up. Almost need to take a tech class to do so. Well, if I remember right, Window Liquor, you're the one who actually asked me to make that video. So I will make a video. I do need to brush up on my chirp. That's actually what this computer back here is going to be for. I have not used chirp in a long time, and I don't know if it's compatible. There's a lot of issues. Some chirp is very easy to use. if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you better be tech savvy. So I'm going to do that, but I'm also going to do a video on how just to manipulate, just the basics of manipulating the menu system with these little keys, because I think it's more important that before you start playing around with chirp and like, oh yeah, it instantly makes things easy. And then when something goes wrong and you don't even know how to use the basics of your menu, then, and I only care about the basics. I don't care that there's 41 things in the menu of one of these things. It's that detailed. But basic settings that you should know, that you should definitely make sure that you set up on your radio, because you can zero one of these radio outs by holding 3 keys down and turning that knob. It'll zero the radio out. And it'll take it right back to factory settings. So I will be doing that. I'm probably going to start on I'm going to do the Bofang, the UV5G video today. I think that everybody should have, I think that, you know, I'm in the middle between like, screw ham license. That's stupid. I don't want to take that test, push that button. That's ridiculous. That's my perspective. Okay. It doesn't mean it's right. Versus having a radio that I can legally use right now, okay, after I give the government $35. You know what I'm saying? Give them $35, go through their, like the people who design the web pages for the FCC, they should all be taken out and punched in the face day after day after day until they hire somebody who knows what the hell they're doing. But anyway, but I think that everybody should have a GMRS radio. Okay. So that's what I'm going to be. That's the next video that I'm going to be making. And you guys will see that as soon as it's done. It's actually over there on the little area that I have set up for making those kind of videos. Okay, guys, looks like we're just hit that 1 hour spot. Everybody seems to be happy. And let's see here. Patreons, I will be in the the chat shortly after this. If you guys are not a Patreon, please do me a favor. Check the links below. We got people joining every day. It's really good to be on the inner circle. If you have joined the Patreon and you have not gotten into the Patreon members only Discord area, I've sent you emails. I've said, here's how you do it. Here's a link. You need to get your ass in there because there's stuff popping off in there all the time that is important, fun, and for you because you paid for it. All right, guys, I think that's going to be about it. Stay safe. Have a great day, and I'll see you when I see you. We'll talk to you all later. I'm going to start pushing some buttons now. Bye-bye.